right, today we're going to be talking about contact process. Obviously, you're running a business, you want to grow your client base, you want to grow your revenue. The first key in that is to actually make contact with the potential client. So any effective contact process is going to have several touches, right? We need a number of different ways that we're reaching out to the client and to give them a number of different opportunities and lines to reach out back to us. So when I have this conversation with attorneys, sometimes I'm blown away at their resistance level. We typically recommend call, then text if they don't answer, then call immediately after that, leave a voicemail. Then if you don't get a hold of them, send an email and a text follow-up that gives them ways to reach back out to you. And when I discuss this with attorneys, the part that I get the most pushback on is texting. Attorneys are incredibly resistant to it for some reason, despite the fact that the entire world communicates almost exclusively through text. I want you to consider this. Even though the client reaches out to you and they see your contact information, I'm guessing they don't memorize it most of the time, especially if they've contacted a number of different attorneys. So you're calling them from an unknown number. Now consider there have been studies done that in the modern era, 95% of people don't answer calls from numbers they don't recognize. So when your firm reaches out to them the first time, they likely just chalk it up to a telemarketer and screen the call. That's why following up with a text and an email and another phone call with a voicemail punches through that initial layer of hesitancy to interact with people that we don't know. Hey, this is the attorney you reached out to. I'm trying to help you. I would love to connect with you. Please reach back out to me during these hours. Please let me know the best way to get a hold of you. That way you're putting communication back into their court and you're meeting them on their terms. Consider this. What if the client you're reaching out to isn't a professional that's sitting at their desk that's available to speak? What if they're a single mom on their second job of the day? They had to lie to their boss to step outside to take 2 seconds to submit a legal inquiry to you. Dad didn't bring the kids back after the 4th of July holiday. She's terrified. She's scared. And the only time and way she can get a hold of you is when she's at work in that moment. Now, if you call that client back or your office does, they're not going to be able to answer the phone. That doesn't mean they don't need your help or they don't want you to work with them. They're just not in a position to take your call when it's convenient to you and your firm. What if they're on a bus and there are 30 people around and your firm calls and says, hey, what can we help you with today? They're not going to want to get into their sordid custody or divorce matter with a bunch of strangers around. And so that's why it's critical if you're going to introduce a new or effective contact process to integrate text messages. And I understand there's a number of arguments against doing it. People don't want to share their personal text. You're also a private citizen. A lot of times we have criminal defense attorneys that are dealing with a homicide suspect. They probably don't want to give that person their cell number. If things don't go well, there's a fear of what's going to happen there. There are a number of tools in the marketplace that can help mask your number so that you're not actually divulging your personal information. You can use Google Voice. You can use a number of tools at your disposal to overcome that hesitancy to use the most effective communication medium of our time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm curious to know what you're doing nowadays to get a hold of clients and what your contact process is, what's working for you, what's not working for you. If you found today's information valuable, please like and subscribe below. We'll see you in the next video.